an incredible receiving core, a great defensive line, a stud quarterback. Which team am I talking about? Could be Cincinnati. Could be Joe Burrow, Trey Hendrickson, Sam Hubbard, DJ Reader. Could be Jamar Chase, Tyler Boyd, T. Higgins. Or I could be talking about Cooper Kupp, Odell Beckham Jr., Aaron Donald, Von Miller, Matthew Stafford. That could describe either the Rams or the Bengals. An incredible receiving core, a great defensive line, and a stud quarterback. In my opinion, the Rams are a better team on paper. They've got Jaylen Ramsey. They've got stars galore. However, the better team doesn't actually always win the Super Bowl. I want to remind you of the last time the Rams, I thought, had the better team and lost in the Super Bowl. February 3rd, 2002. Rams against Patriots. The Rams were a 14-point favorite. It was the greatest show on turf. And they lost to a young, upstart quarterback in his second year. Not Joe Burrow, Tom Brady. It feels like history is repeating a little bit, where the Bengals are a team that is the overwhelming favorite, that everyone expects to win. And we got another young second-year quarterback who very much reminds me of Tom Brady. The work ethic, the controlling everything he can control in Joe Burrow. And even though the Rams are loaded, Von Miller, Aaron Donald, Jaylen Ramsey, Matthew Stafford, Odell Beckham Jr., Cooper Kupp, you cannot deny all the talent on this Rams roster. I got a couple reasons why I think the Bengals are going to win this Super Bowl. Number one, you don't need to beat the Rams 10 times to win a Super Bowl. The Bengals have to find a way on Sunday to win one time, 60 minutes, 4 quarters, and anything can happen. We've seen over and over again in football that a couple things go your way and a couple bounces happen and suddenly you got a big lead and all the momentum. Right now, if I had to pick any quarterback in the entire NFL, Aaron Rodgers, Patrick Mahomes, Tom Brady, who's retired, but he's still in my head, the guy, Josh Allen, the one quarterback I would want to run my football team to win one game, if I need to win just one game, I'd go with Joe Burrow. And I think it's going to be close. I think it's going to be a wild football game. The Rams are going to have turnovers, in my opinion. That will give the Bengals a lot of momentum. And I believe the Bengals will win the Super Bowl. Now, there's a key matchup I want people to pay attention to. It will be the Rams star corner, Jaylen Ramsey, guarding the Bengals star receiver, Jamar Chase. I think that advantage actually goes to the offense, to Jamar Chase, because all he's really got to do is catch. If he catches 3 deep balls on Sunday, 3 catches for 90 yards, we're going to go, he won. He won the matchup. Like, you don't actually have to have a high success rate to win that matchup. Number 2, the rules in the NFL skew towards the offense. I had a source tell me, hey, sometimes in the NFL, you just got to try to be near a receiver and hope the quarterback throws a bad ball. Because if the quarterback's accurate and throws a good ball, there's nothing you can really do because of the way the rules are written in the NFL right now. A corner has a really, really hard job. And guys like Trevon Diggs get beat all the time, and they're opportunists. The reason why Trevon Diggs has a bunch of picks in the NFL is because when a quarterback throws an inaccurate or bad pass, he's an opportunist who's ready to go and be there in that moment. Jaylen Ramsey can do everything right and still lose because Joe Burrow is really accurate and can throw a perfect ball. On top of that, I worry Jaylen Ramsey could get a pass interference call or 2. A deep ball, there's some hand fighting. Jaylen Ramsey gets emotional, and suddenly you get a penalty that hands Cincinnati 50 yards, and you're like, well, wow. I think if you go one-on-one Jaylen Ramsey versus Jamar Chase, it's not fair. Not because Jamar Chase is way better, but because the way the NFL rules are written, it's an almost impossible job for a guy like Jamar Chase against Joe Burrow, or for a guy like Jaylen Ramsey trying to guard Jamar Chase with Joe Burrow throwing him the football. I am terrified of the Rams' defensive line. Aaron Donald and Von Miller against the Bengals' offensive line cause a big problem. The right tackle for Cincinnati, Isaiah Prince, is a massive weakness. And if I were the Rams, I would line up Von Miller on him one-on-one every single time and then force Cincinnati to have to double-team Von Miller. Then you got to double-team Von Miller and Aaron Donald, which really hurts you against the other 2 guys on the defensive line. It's a mess. It's not good. I don't know how exactly the Bengals are going to guard Aaron Donald and Von Miller. What I do know is that Joe Burrow won a football game when he got sacked 9 times in one game against Tennessee. He's also a wizard at avoiding sacks and keeping plays alive and being slippery and kind of escaping a sack here and there. I watched Chris Jones try to sack Joe Burrow twice on one play and fail against Kansas City. Now, something to watch, I think, in my opinion, is how does Matthew Stafford handle the moment? Is he nervous early? Is he nervous late? I think Matthew Stafford's a gamer, and as the game goes on, I think he'll settle in and get more and more comfortable. I worry about him being nervous early on. It's a huge moment. I think Joe Burrow has shown a propensity to handle a big moment before. I've actually never seen Matthew Stafford really have to play in a big game. In the entire time he's in Detroit, he won games, but no one's watching that game. How does he handle all the lights? I saw Joe Burrow light it up 2 years ago in 2019 in front of a massive crowd, all the attention, and ESPN simulcast or whatever in the national title. I know Joe Burrow can handle the moment. How does Matthew Stafford handle this really big moment? Probably well, but if anybody's going to have nerves, weirdly enough, it probably will be Matthew Stafford, not Joe Burrow. And if you have a slow start on offense for LA, for the Rams, I think you're handing Cincinnati a lot of momentum. And in my opinion, the Rams are a better team. The Rams are a team that should win by 17 points. I don't think they're going to do that. I think the Rams are going to allow Cincinnati to hang around, and that is really, really dangerous. Do you give Joe Burrow a glimmer of hope? Their great kicker, Evan McPherson? I would not at all. If I'm the Rams, you got to step on their neck and you got to crush them. You cannot allow Cincinnati to hang around. And remember, all the pressure's on LA. This is the most important thing I'm going to say in this whole segment. Psychologically, LA traded for Matthew Stafford. He's here to win a Super Bowl. Easy to say, hard to do in the moment. To feel the weight of a city, the weight of, hey, my team traded a quarterback and 2 first-round picks to get me. Traded for Sony Michel. Signed Odell. Signed Eric Weddle. Traded for Von Miller. Made move after move after move to try to get to this moment. We mortgaged our future. The Rams do not have draft picks in the future at all. They're all in on this moment. And you're playing in your home stadium, which sounds great, but I think actually adds another level of expectation. The Rams have to win this Super Bowl. You're playing at home. The pressure is all on LA. Cincinnati has nothing to lose. They shouldn't even be here. And that, to me, I think is a massive advantage in favor of Cincinnati. That is why Cincinnati will win this Super Bowl. The Rams are going to be pressing. All the pressure is on them. Joe Cool can come in, no pressure, nothing to lose. He's played in big games before. Joe Burrow's played his best in big moments. And I just think Joe Burrow and the Cincinnati Bengals, despite the fact that they're not the better team, despite the fact that no one's going to pick them, I believe the Bengals are going to win the Super Bowl on Sunday. And for every reason I just said, that is why.